What is going on, everybody? It is MJ, the conductor. Welcome to the top 10 at 10. It is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. And if this is your first top 10 at 10, what this is an analysis, breakdown, our stock picks for maybe the next day, maybe sometime in the future, but we like them. A lot of people don't know about every single stock. People are used to like the same old stocks. So we provide some stock picks. If you like them, use them, make money, try to be the best at what we can do, but not financial advice, but just some great picks. And we can do this every single night at 10 p.m. right here on YouTube, Underground Wealth Road. Also, if you're new to the Underground Wealth Road, it is a community based on teaching others the many different ways to build wealth. So right now, we just have the top 10 at 10. But with your support, we can develop other areas of content for you all as well. And we will do that anyway. But we like your support in that. We have some great upcoming interviews with professionals, great fields. We have courses, plenty of courses coming to the Underground Wealth Road soon. So stay tuned in. So we just want to be that place, or we're just going to be that place where if you need to learn about how to build wealth, you can find it, but not just find it from, something that's going to be really hard to understand, but something that you can pick up on. It's fairly easily if you pay attention, and we can help you, learn how to build wealth. So right now, of course, you tune in to the top 10 at 10. Got a bunch of other things coming down the road as well. Our website is under development. That's the undergroundwealthroad.com. We are going to have the phone lines open. We have the phone lines open every single night here at the top 10 at 10, just so you can get your questions answered. Sometimes you just really need somebody to talk to when you're making these investments, because I know, at least for my community, a lot of us aren't really, heavily into investing or even moderately into investing. So it always helps to have somebody you can talk to. That's why we got the phone lines open. We are the Underground Wealth Road. And if you're watching, you're a passenger. So welcome to the money train. Tonight, let's go ahead and jump into it. And before we get started, obviously we always start with the quote of the night. I just like to get y'all in the right mind frame before we get into it. So this quote is from Robert Arnott. Basically, in investing, what is comfortable is rarely profitable. Right? So something that you definitely want to think about, especially if you're just a beginner in the stock market, is that, there's going to be some uncomfortable moves that you're going to have to make. I know for me, it's always uncomfortable for you to cut a loser. Like if you buy a stock and it ultimately ends up turning a different way than you wanted it to go, and you actually have to cut that loser, like that's a real uncomfortable thing for me, but it's just something that you're going to have to get past as well too. And then the other side of things is you're going to have to start learning how to do things like read charts and understanding more information about the stocks. We here at the Underground Wealth Road, we look more so on like the technical analysis of stocks. So our strategy may be different. Yours may be different, but let's all work together. It's the money train. Hey, I'm not the owner of the train. I'm just a conductor. So let us take you there. All right. So the trip for today is understanding entries versus exits on every trade that you make. So when you go and you find the stock that you're actually interested in buying, the first thing, there are a few things that you need to understand about that stock before you just push that button and go ahead and just buy shares. I mean, sometimes you'll get lucky. Sometimes like intuition works, but I want you to think in terms of investing long term, all right, and making some good money doing it, right? So when you're actually getting ready to buy a stock, there's a few things you need to look at. The first thing is, what's the overall direction of the stock? What is that? What range is that stock trading in? Where is it headed to? And I mean, if you're a beginner, you have to start somewhere. That's the first thing. So don't be afraid to start. But if you're a beginner, Like these are some of the things that if you've seen charts before, you'll pick up on it pretty fast. I mean, you should know which way is going up and which way is going down. Well, I would hope that at least. All right, but one thing you want to do is just look at what direction the stock is headed in. The second thing that you want to look at is how much money or what kind of percentage would you like to make off of that trade. You should always have a goal set for each trade, and that helps you out in several different ways. The first way is that if you have a certain goal for a trade, you'll feel better if you don't hit it. And if you almost are going to go past that, like if the stock moves down, for example, and your goal was 10% and you're like, oh wow, I'm getting close to 10%. Should I sell? And you just decide to sell. That was a successful trade for you because you entered that trade trying to get 10%. All right. And it also works on the flip side. So if like the stock is going down and you're like, well, I'm down 10%. Should I keep it or should I just let it go and keep growing? And, that way you're like, well, I wanted to make 10%, but I lost 10%. So should I really keep holding on to this? These are the type of things that you're going to want to think about. All right. Your entries and your exits are really important when it comes to investing or just trading or dibbling dabbling with whatever that you're, here to do. So entries and exits are going to be the topic for today. When to get in, when to get out. We teach that in our exclusive classes and programs that we have coming very soon. So for almost like the cost of, I guarantee you, if you were to join our stock program, it would be the only bill that probably makes you money, except for, the people who are self-employed. But if you have a job, this would probably be one of the only bills you pay every single month that makes you money. And it's just, something that maybe you'll check out. But I want you to just keep tuning in and then we'll go from here. But speaking on entries and exits, a lot of y'all went out and bought all this crypto lately, right? Bought all this crypto lately. I have a lot of people that have been asking what's going on with Bitcoin, what's going on with Dogecoin, right? And other cryptocurrencies as well for you people who trade Cardano and Dogecoin Killer and all the rest of them. You definitely have to know, if you're going to get serious about it, you got to know your entries and your exit. Because if you would have bought Bitcoin when it was at like, I don't know, 50, I don't know. We'll talk about that in a quick second, but I actually got a pretty interesting article that's actually going to help explain and give you those answers that you've been looking for. All right. So looks like minimize that. Sorry about that. Pull that back up there. All right. So here we have an article from CoinDesk. All right. Before we get into the article, look at these prices. I mean, Bitcoin, 38,000, Ethereum, what's that? 2,700, XRP 96, Cardano. It's the only one in the green. So I'm not hearing many people talk about trading that. But either way, so we got an article from CoinDesk that says Fairlead Stockton plans to add Bitcoin's exposure only after key indicator turns higher. So what is he talking about? Well, apparently he's looking for some type of indicator or an entry to be able to put his money down into Bitcoin. And he isn't like one of these people out here who are just like, man, Bitcoin's going up. I saw Bitcoin was going back up. This person has a plan. All right. So, of course, Bitcoin has climbed 30% from its recent low. While the recovery looks impressive, one analyst who predicted the recent crash intends to stay on the sidelines because technical charts have yet to show credible evidence of a reversal higher. And that brings me into like my next point. Are you all really learning how to read charts? Is it something that you really don't care about? Is your phone screen good enough? Because when you really learn how to read charts, really isn't anything that you can't do. Well, I guess it depends on how well you can read charts, but invest a little time in that. Keep watching this show, and maybe we'll have some chart trainings coming up. Not a maybe, but definitely we do. So if you want to learn things like that, the course is also coming soon. Just sit back, relax. Let's talk about this Bitcoin, all right? See what's going on with Bitcoin. Everybody wants to know what's going on with Bitcoin, right? And if you look at it here, I talked about the stock market here, or the crypto market here. Talked about entries and exits. So let's just say if you got in around 56 and you're like, hey, it came down from 62 and it went back up. So let's just say if you just, let's go back to 56, about 56, all right? You buy Bitcoin at 56,000 because you're hearing everybody telling you Bitcoin's going back up. Guess what? 25 days later, you've lost 35%. Now, I hope you wouldn't be the type of person that's just hanging on to the stock forever. That's not the way things work anymore. Just in case you bought Bitcoin way back then, yeah, you lost about 35%. You really did, all right? So, just like Bitcoin, kind of the same thing with anything else. When you're investing, there are 5 different outcomes that you can expect to happen. One of them is guaranteed to happen. I surely hope the best one for you actually ends up happening. And before we get to that, just want to let you know this is the Underground Wealth Road. Top 10 at 10, presented by the Underground Wealth Road. There's 5 different outcomes that you can experience when you invest in stock or crypto, really any investment, right? Number 1, the best one, I hope this happens for you, is that you make a lot of money. Make a lot of money on the trade, and that's one of the outcomes that happens. The second thing is you make a decent profit. Hopefully you hit your goal. Where we're talking about entries and exits here. So you can define hitting your goal, especially if it was a realistic goal, and unrealistic things do happen in the market today. That's for sure. But if you set your goal and you hit it, you can consider that, making good profit. Then there's always the break even. Sometimes, depending on where you're at on the trade, break even can feel really good. You're like, man, I almost didn't make any money. Or you can say, man, I lost all that money and I'm at least going to take 0 and end where I started off. Not the worst outcome. All right. And then you have your small losses. Cut the losers. Sometimes you're not going to be able to sell every stock at a profit. Sometimes you can buy a stock and you can just hold it forever and it could just keep going down and you get tired of it and sell it. Eventually it'll go back up. Well, maybe, depending on what stock it is, but you're going to have to learn to cut your losers. Remember, entries and exits is the topic today. When to exit, when to enter. So things can really happen real well for you, all right? So, 4th outcome is that, you cut your losses. And the 5th outcome is you take a huge loss. Take a huge loss, like 35% in 25-day Bitcoin. Yeah. RIP to them. Or you can take a big loss. So if you eliminate taking a big loss from trading, you should end up pretty well. So just focus on, don't take a big loss, all right? So with that being said, we're going to jump straight into, let's go ahead and jump straight into this top 10 at 10, which came here for. Top 10 at 10, presented by me, MJ, the conductor, with the Underground Wealth Road. Here are 10 stocks that came out of our strategy on how we choose stocks that will be good to invest in. Since this is some of your first time watching this channel, broadcast, show, however you choose to label it, as long as you get the information. This is the first time we actually have like two groups of people. We have two sides. Everybody is not one style of trading, right? There's two sides of trading. Got your bulls and your bears. But over here on Underground Wealth Road, on the money train, we got the bomb squad and we got the Skywalkers. Straight like that. All right. So some of these picks are going to be from the bomb squad. Some of them going to be for the Skywalkers. And as always, we try to be accountable. We want you to know how the strategy works to a certain extent. You know, we keeping that tighter than the Colonel's recipe. But seriously though, we want you to see the performance of, you know, some of these stocks that are being picked at the top 10 to 10. And we will include crypto at some point. But yeah, we want you to see the performance of it. And nothing to hide. If we have a bad day, hey, we have a bad day. You know, everybody does. But let's go ahead and check out what we picked yesterday. And the top station, we call your position stations, because you're moving your money from one place to another. And it's where you want it to go too, hopefully. All right. So the top station, Jill, Jill. All right. 8.27%. So if you missed yesterday's broadcast, it was at 10 o'clock the same time it is tonight. I mean, made it tonight? I don't know. Maybe you at work. I don't know. Y'all got to tune in. You got to tune in. Because I can't even say it, but the mainstream media, who did they pick? And the crazy thing is, you know, most people haven't heard about these companies unless you've had a job for one of these companies or you know somebody who worked there. Some of these companies, most people have never even heard of. These are the stocks that are moving. Go ask your friends who have Apple. Okay, go ask them about that. Okay. So we had Jill at the top, Party City Holding Company, 6.9%. One of our picks yesterday, and obviously, you see that right there at the top. Yesterday's picks. I want to see who called out these things. And if you don't believe me, go on to the last video. Know what's up. Now how we move on that, right? Party City Holding Company, people trying to get to them birthday parties. Okay. Tetra Technologies, up 3.76%. All right. Kirkland's, 3.46% gain. All right. Pretty good. Let's see, we got Oxford Square Capital up 1.87%. Sealed Air Corp up 0.5%. Cactus up 0.3%. Farmer Brothers minus 0.08. PLBY Group minus 1%. And Moxion, listen. Shout out to my people on the bomb squad. I called this out yesterday. I would play the video. I have to go back and find out exactly where it was. So I'm going to chop it up. I'll drop this. This one was from the bomb squad yesterday. Now, I suggest that if you're on the bomb squad and you blew this up from yesterday, I want to just watch it a little bit. I don't know how much we bombing, but if you want to join the bomb squad, you know, that's going to be coming soon. That opportunity is going to be coming soon. Right now, it's an exclusive group of us right now. What we do is we like when stocks go boom that way. Because if you think about it, like seriously, can you, let's just say, if you're sitting down, right, can you stand up faster than if you were standing and you had to sit down? Which one could you do faster? Right? Real question. That's why myself, people on the bomb squad, they like, man, gonna fall fast. Fall fast. Good money. All right. So these are the stocks from yesterday. Comment below. Did you have any of these? Were you watching yesterday? Did you get in on this? All right. So let's go ahead and jump into, you know, the stock picks. For May 26, 2021, top 10 and 10, the number one pick is Adient PLC. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. You know what? I like it. All right. It's got up 2.19% today. Got a volume of 540,000 on average. Pretty decent over the last 3 months, up 29%. took a little bit of break, down 4% on the week. Down 1%, 4% on the month, and up 1% on the week. All right. Auto parts industry. All right. So one of the things about this company is when you're thinking about the auto parts industry, there's not a lot of new cars coming out, right? Because of shutdowns and the computer chip shortages and other material shortages that go into actually making new cars. So a stock like this, that's one of the reasons why it made our list. Because the way we see it, I like the movement of the stock. I like the volatility. It looks like it has some really good swings. And the last big run that it had was almost 12% over 7 days. So do I think this stock is gonna pop? Excuse me. Ooh, moving too fast. I'm excited about this one. I think it'll be good to catch some swings on. So we'll see what happens. Go to number 2. Bam, Q. Number 2, I said Q. Number 2 that we have on the top 10 for 10 tonight is Q Biopharma. Ticker sign CUE. All right. Price $14.53. Up 9% today alone. Only 286,000 in volume. If you were watching yesterday's show, you would know that, investing in those unconventional stocks, that's a really good way to actually win. So you look at a stock like this, Q Biopharma, it's up 5% over the last week, 19% over the last month. Biotech, and its last big run that it had was 27% over a 5-day span. So when we really talk about entries and exits, this is what we're talking about here. All right. So even if that seems like abnormal to you to catch it here and then ride it up, well, there was something that was not as much of a gain. But when you're able to catch these entries and when you're able to understand the chart, then that's definitely something that you can see happening. All right. Is this stock popping? Yeah. Is it going to keep popping? Well, we'll have to see what happens. It has gone up quite a bit from where it was. But ultimately, we'll see what happens. All right. Next up, we got Oil States International. All right. Deal with oil field services and equipment. This stock is for you skywalkers that like to buy the dip. All right. So it's been down about 17% over the last 3 months. Okay. And I know you dip buyers. I know y'all are out here checking it out when that stock is going down. And you're sitting on the sidelines like the article that we talked about today. And you want to get in and you want to ride the wave. So maybe this stock is going to do the same. Minus 17%. Last big run it had was 17% over 6 days. So, hey, check it out. We're on it. Number 4, we got the Aluminum Corporation of China. All right. So it's taking a hit. Lately. I mean, it was up around, 16.50, not that far back. But it looks like some of the selling pressure has gotten down on it, only being down 0.21% today, only 0.46% over the last week, up 7% on the month, 4.5% in the last 3 months. All right. Its last big run was 14% over 7 days. So I keep telling y'all, entries and exits are everything, right? When you enter on the stock, let's just say you get in here, you end up here, then, that's different. And I've got a really good tool that I'll show you in the next stock. This one has moved a lot, all right? So we also have number 5 on the list tonight, Celsius Holdings, all right? Price is $63.53, up 2.3% today, up 17% on the week. Good money for a week. 6% on the month, almost 8.5% in the last 3 months. They do non-alcoholic beverages. All right. So for you people wanting a little bit of drink, they don't have much for you. The last big run there was 31% over 15 days. You understand that a lot of people have managed portfolios and they don't see that for a year. So we're introducing you to stocks that have the potential to do these types of things, whether you're a Skywalker or you're on the bomb squad. We're showing you these, and the past performance, it speaks for itself, right? When you see a stock like this that's been doing a lot of movement and going on 31% over 15 days, that run on a stock like that, it's in there again somewhere. Now you just have to figure out what direction that it's going in. So for the long term, this has been looking like a really, great and solid pick. So is it going to pop? Yeah, I think it probably will stay that way. Let's just see what happens. All right. I try not to give y'all too much. I'm going to give you something, but at the end of the day, I want you all to start researching it and just look and see. Just come back tomorrow. Even if you come back just to see, like, okay, how did those stocks do? Come back tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. I like to let the stuff speak for itself. All right. Cool. All right. Next, we got the Movado Group. All right. Movado Group, other consumer specialties company, or as they listed. All right. Me, I don't really care too much about the name. I just like to see the stock move. And as you can see, even though it's right at $30.48, down a little bit over the last week and month, but it's up 36% in the last 3 months. All right. This last big run was 9% over 5 days. All right. As you can see, all of these places are entries and exits depending on where you're trading. All you now have to figure out is when these are going to happen. See right here, you could have got in at 30, took it up to, 31 and some change, or you could have just kept riding it and took it up to, 32.50. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. But when you're focused on your entries and your exits, that's definitely the best way to be able to do it and be able to make money very quick when you're investing. All right. Next up, we have RETA Pharmaceuticals, ticker sign RETA. Price is near 130 at 126, up 23% over the last week, 40% over the last month, but still down almost 1% over the last 3 months. Pharmaceuticals company in its last big run was 61% over 12 days. So, there's one rule that I have for investing is that everything goes up like an escalator and down like an elevator. All right. So when you see stocks, go up this way, you can kind of like think about either reversing it or just know that it's going to come back down at some point. All right. So this one I'm throwing out to the bomb squad. As crazy as it sounds, throwing this one out to the bomb squad. All right. So RETA Pharmaceuticals, you gonna pop, but you popping for the bomb squad. Let's go to number 8. Consol Energy, ticker sign CEIX. Same thing. When you're seeing stocks that move a lot in one direction, got to think to yourself, okay, how long is it going to continue in that direction? Because the stock market is like water, right? It's like water in a glass, right? It's like, I've got my little glass right here. Boom. Like water in a glass. If I shake this glass up, see, I shake it up too much, right? It come out the glass, but that's not the point. But if I shake this glass up, see how it starts rocking back and forth, right? Eventually, if you let it sit still, it's going to actually come to level. So, stock market is very similar in that, and really almost any investing, in the sense that it always wants to find its average. So if something goes up, like this company, 50% in the last month, and its last big run was 33% over the last 7 days, then eventually it has to find its level. In this case, it's got to come down a little bit. So I'm throwing this one straight up to the bomb squad. Again, I think it's going to pop. There's another one for the bomb squad. So be on the lookout for it. Let's see what it does next. Did go up 6% today. So number 9, we got Borg Warner. All right. Trucks, construction, and farm machinery. All right. They have a $50 price right now. Good volume, 1.65 million, which is good, decent. Down about 1% for the month, 1.5% for the month, but up almost a little bit over 9% for the last 3 months, and its last big run was 8% over 5 days. So looks like a pretty steady stock. I mean, it's been hovering around the 45, $50 range from what we can see right here, 50, 53. So will this one pop? Seems like this will be just one of those like reliable, steady positions that you don't really have to worry about too much movement. But hey, you'll see. So I'll say this one, we'll throw it to the Skywalkers, but probably not gonna be much unless you can time your entry and exit something just like this, which was the 8% run. All right, moving on to number 10, the last one to number 10. Before we get to number 10, I want to tell you, thank you for tuning in. Just make sure every single night, top 10 at 10, make it one of your routines. Sunday through Thursday, we're going to be talking about stocks. Friday, Saturday, we're going to be talking about crypto. You're one of those crypto people and you're like, man, when are you going to get to the crypto? Oh, we're going to get to talking about the crypto. All right. Will we do a top 10 at 10 on crypto? Probably not, but we'll give you about 5 crypto that you may know about, or you may not know. All right. So make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Definitely want to grow this channel, want to grow this movement for you. Doing this for you so you can learn how to invest, have a community of people to work with. MJ the Conductor, let's go on to number 10. Number 10 is Denison Mines Corp. All right. This is one of those cheaper stocks. All right. Only $1.16 a share. So kind of like a lot of people like penny stocks because if they move a little bit, then you make a lot of money, kind of like Dogecoin. So this one, it's only about $1.16. And you can get some pretty good movement if you catch a nice swing. All right. Now this one, recently, it's been up pretty good. 16% in the last month, 16% in the last 17 days. So that was one of the more recent runs that it had. But if you think about it, it's in the metals and minerals industry. And that's an industry that is very solid. And, based on the shortages that we have on everything else, it's definitely one of those things or one of those companies that you can look at for the future and see what it does. All right. So that's the last of the top 10 at 10. All right. So thoughts, questions. Let's go ahead and jump into that. If you have thoughts, questions, or one analysis on the stock or crypto. You bought the OI? Yeah, man. I did too. The OI is the glass company. Just a little bit today. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit today. I think that was on maybe the first one. Yeah. It was good. It was good. OI, still got a little bit more stuff left to go on with it. So we'll see. Definitely see. But these stocks that we picked tonight, I think that was some good ones. I mean, if we go back to, just what hit yesterday, you can see like some of these stocks had a really good run. So obviously it's not financial advice and we don't want past performance to try to predict future performance. So I want to get that disclaimer out there. Not responsible if you lose all your money. That's not our responsibility. But you definitely want to make sure that you got the right entries and the exits on your trade. That makes a really big difference for you when you are, making these trades. Getting in at the right time, getting out at the right time. That's the best thing you can do. For some of you all, when you make, like 8% right there, for some of you all, that's good. I mean, you just have to understand your own risk tolerance and have your goals set for each trade. Not every trade is going to make you, 100%. Might get lucky every now and then, but not every trade is going to make you 100%. So timing your entries and your exits are always not just timing, but actually planning that out. Planning that out, writing that information down on when your entries and exits are going to be. I mean, that's really the the most important thing that you can do right there. All right. So we're going to continue to bring you this content every single night at 10. Listen, if you're missing anything, like some of these stocks that hit today, well, you know where to come find us. Underground YouTube. Underground Wealth Roll on YouTube. I'm Mark Jenkins, the conductor. And I hope you have a very successful trading day tomorrow. Hope that, I'm gonna go through these. I'm just go through them one more time. I'll just scroll through one more time just in case you forgot, just to save you time if you have to go back through the video. So as you can see, 1 was Adient, 2 was Q Biopharma, 3 was Oil States International, 4 was Aluminum Company Corporation in China, 5 Celsius Holdings, 6 Movado Group, 7 RETA Pharmaceuticals, 8 Consol Energy, 9 Borg Warner, and 10 Denison Mines Corporation. All right. There it goes, right there. Top 10 of 10 presented by the Underground Wealth Road. Shout out to Steven on set. And we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Got a whole lot of great stuff coming